有了。所以是同步关。视角。那现在要干嘛？手上拿着花。翻页啊。我要从头开始探索这栋房子。
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like
有
I
人
wasn't
搭
the first
起
person to
了
hop it.
快过去。不行。
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house
他的
just
兄弟
swallowed him up.
4岁的时候失踪了。可以跑吗？
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
11岁前一直住在那里啊，那栋诡异的建筑哦，这是什么建筑？它的控制按其他的钮都会放大而已，放大画面。这是可以摸，还有吗？
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
他兄弟的葬礼以后就没有回过这里了。
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked
7
urgent.
年前的
Open
账单
immediately.
紧急，立刻开启。不能拿吗？
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
一把钥匙。
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
有2条路哎。
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
这边可以走啊，那刚刚那边呢？画面是不是好像有点暗的？怎么好像又变更暗了？走这边跟上面有什么差？
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
什么意思啊？我走这个路只是绕一圈吗？还是怎样？超捷径的意思吗？有路欸，上面有路欸，可以去找他吗？我从哪里走下来的？回不去了，迷路了。好像是这边。前面会遇到那只鹿哦。真的耶，那个鹿就这样跑走了。
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
这房子长得好奇怪哦，这边好黑哦。这是什么啊？不能下去耶！地上那些都是失踪人口的那个报道哦，失踪的传单。
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
害怕这栋房子。这些都不能互动啊！这边怎么有一个孔？
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the swing set was older than my mother.
Ah, 为什么用爬得进家里？
The doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
开灯啊！
The power had been turned off the night we left.
没有电。
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
回家了。
instead of a family, they were just memories of one.
这荒废了多久啊？
Like how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon, except our cat,
三文鱼
Molly.
哦。
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a
本
smile
身就很
with too
诡
many
异了。
teeth. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
他兄弟失踪了。
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
家族成员都被埋在书房的某个角落。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
每个门都有偷窥孔哦。1976。
I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
房子也太诡异了吧！1976、1977、1950、1961。
My grandpa Sam spent 7 years
他
sharing
爷
a
爷
room with his dead brother.
跟他死去的兄弟在这里住了7年。 哦，好多家族的照片哦。为什么有狗脸呢？
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
芭芭拉，这是童星哦。
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
芭芭拉的房间呢、啊？
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America.
当了2年，美国抛弃了她。这只三小海豹是不是？现在要干嘛？继续走。
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
3楼的楼梯被锁上了，这里有一条线呢，一个插头接到3楼。这边呢？哇塞！这是吓人用的吗？
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
他们家到底有多少人啊？
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
对啊，为什么这房间就没有封？
Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never
秘
believed
密
him.
通道。这不是开房门的锁，
Turns
是开这本
out
书
my
的
mom
锁。
was really good at keeping secrets.
哇塞！
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
吼吼吼！
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
他兄弟来
Reading
过，
this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
不知道门后面有什么。
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
这是什么啊？
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
伊迪呀。
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
好黑哦，这什么东西？看不太清楚哎。音乐盒，音乐盒吗？
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
换人了。
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
你怎么在吃老鼠的食物？有饿成这样子吗？
My Halloween candy was all gone.
这是他的回忆啊。金鱼哎，我想过。
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
哈哈哈哈！饿到吃金鱼。这是什么？海星？好黑哦！这画面这样是正常的吗？这是他们家的族谱哦。哎，现在要干嘛？出门。
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
肚子饿了啦！肚子饿怎么睡？这边不是有密道吗？厕所。
I kept eating and eating.
连牙膏都吃啊！
I ate a lot of things that night.
为什么一直乱吃？傻小。
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly,
嗯？
I was a cat.
啊？
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
空白键可以跳嘞，要抓这只鸟。嗯？
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
这画面不能放大。鸟呢？这只鸟嘞？现在往哪里跳？哦，这里。 这里就上不去。
I could tell she was getting really tired.
鸟嘞，怎么又不见了？啊，这里。
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore.
答应了爸爸不再爬树哦，可是现在只想吃鸟。
I gobbled her up,
Oh my god！
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind.
又变成猫头鹰。
Teeth nibbling in the grass.
什么情况？现在要干嘛？
Rabbits.
兔子。抓到了。
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my
直
towel.
接吃掉。
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
要在这个大雪中寻找
I
猎
found
物
a。rabbit.
一只兔妈妈。有
She
成
was
就哎！
almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
死亡搁浅。我只能用跳的欸。
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I
哦
was， hungrier than ever.
可以冲哎！
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
海豹。哇！
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
哇塞！然后呢？还有海豹吗？哦，在这里啊！
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.
跳出
When
了
I
海
opened
面，
my eyes, everything had changed.
一切都变了。什么？蛇吗？我现
Now I
在
was a monster,
变成
and
蛇
I
了啊。
smelled people everywhere.
到处都有人的味道。
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
要吃人哦！哇塞！巨蟒吃人， 这个视角要自己切换，才会移到那个蛇的前面。Oh my god！ 画面还是感觉很黑。
Passenger, I was still hungry, and across the water I smelled something new, something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
这次又是什么？也是蛇。
Onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
啊！我从马桶爬出来。
I got closer and closer.
离越来越近了。小宝宝啊！
My stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time.
又变回了自己。他被蛇吃掉吗？
To fall asleep, but it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
所以他被蛇吃掉啊。
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
被蛇吃掉了。
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma
跟祖母
Edie's
的
room.
房间呢、
Her room was like a museum.
这房间感觉有点温暖。
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he
是
was
被
building a
龙
dragon
杀
shaped
死
slide
的
that。collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
哎呦！
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
很恶心呢。
It was a pretty big trace.
等一下，上个厕所。 可以取消吗？我还有东西没看呢。
There's a secret in this bathroom.
这间浴室藏了一个秘
It's in
密
the。last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
是什么啊？哇塞！可以回去吗？可以耶。先去看刚刚那个。哦。
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
这个呢？
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
芬奇家族在整个挪威很出名，也因为他的不幸。这可以看什么？
Odin Finch buries the latest victims
幻
of the
灯
family
片呢？
curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and
这
his
三
house,
小啊，整
hoping
栋
to
房
leave
子
the
可
curse
以
behind.
搬着走。
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington
哇塞！
send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby
伊
Molly,
迪
step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new
第
family
一个被
cemetery.
埋入家族墓地的成员。
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
没了。
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
很久很久以前。还有什么可以探索的？
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
伊迪是奶奶吗？ 这又是谁的房间？
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And then
双
he
胞
never
胎
talked
兄
about it.
弟没谈过。这是什么？蝴蝶？这房子到底有多少密室啊？
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I want to remember my brother. Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
换人了啊
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom.
荡秋千
And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
想要飞啊！
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
该不会荡出去了
I
吧？
told him going around was impossible.
哇塞，
Maybe if I hadn't said that,
快荡一圈了！
I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
哇塞，一圈、两圈、三圈，
The day he made up his mind,
起飞！
he did.
所以他是荡秋千死掉的。
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
我是不是漏一个啊？芭芭拉，还是还没到？那有人的遗照的话，就有那个
After the
回忆。
funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
像一半房间
Mom
围
said
了
Greg
起来
Sam。enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
下一间
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
芭芭拉、欸，哇哦，接到这边来啊！芭芭拉的房间，
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
好恐怖哦！这是爬回去吧？
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
他之后的日子有多么辛苦？这是什么啊 ？Happy Birthday， 芭芭拉！要看他的回忆了。
Of all the stories people wrote about
漫
Barbara's
画
death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired
哦，
by
南瓜头要
America's
讲一个
most
恐怖故事。
unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
看，都不会吓人吧？
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
哇，这个叫
Now
声
that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a...
刚刚怎么断线了啊？
And as she wound the keys, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
要走下去了啊。这不是那个吗？麦克迈尔森的配乐。
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Oh shit！ 杀手吗？
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled an
铁钩杀手。
years ago tonight.
Rattled and grew still.
哎呦，干你娘！
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
怎么了？怎么了？骷髅头？怎么又是这配乐啊？鞋子。
But his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police described the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows.
快点
and
报
notify the
警
police
啊
of any suspicious
铁
activity.
钩杀手来了！ Oh shit！
Saw the hookman and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And whoever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
离开，离开！怎 么离开？房子里没有密道吗？这个。这里。
She played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
这房间刚刚来过啊。 从后面绕出来了。哦，绕一圈打爆他。
But she sensed the story might not be over yet.
下去打爆他。
She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
警察吗？
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh my god！ 2个人。
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
他被怪物吃掉了，被怪物杀掉了。
I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
芭芭拉的故事就是被怪物吃掉了。能开门出去吗？
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
现在呢？这些 些门都被封住了啊。
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
音乐盒啊、所以要去芭芭拉房间转那个音乐盒的钥匙，就可以拿到地下室的钥匙。音乐盒在哪里啊？嗯？
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the
地下
basement.
室旁边的音乐盒。
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
地下室。太黑了吧！没有一个灯可以拿
The
吗
table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like my mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
没看到字啊！
Only one restaurant would deliver to our house. We had Chinese a lot.
吃中国菜啊！绕一圈回来了。哇塞，地下室可以打撞球哎，好爽！
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
地下室禁止进入哦。
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
摸黑。
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Xiao.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Wow. 他住在地下室啊。
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I was expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
又吃罐头啊！
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
2005年，一直吃罐头。
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
密道。
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara.
打死了芭芭拉，就那些怪物啊。
And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake.
怎么了？
But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
他凿出一个洞啊！
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
被火车撞死。那你为什么要走在铁轨上面呢？
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
要走当初的那条密道吗？碰到铁轨。
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
这些都是食物哦。
trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself.
这边没火车了吧？
To everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Hmm? 那如果跳下去会怎样？不给走。
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
对面那是什么？不能走了。
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
月亮耶，这些是感应灯哦，走到旁边才会亮。
Look at the house. That history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
又回来家里了。这是绕到后面来了。这荡秋千不就是那个小男孩荡出去死的那个吗？现在要干嘛？走这边。
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
你们家。要去墓地哦。
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
他们的家族墓地，这是宠物的墓地。
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
And 然后呢？
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
会潮湿哦。
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
哇，这个就是那个房子嘛。然后呢？可以去吗？那边那是什么？船吗？
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
那边有路吗？诶，这是不一样的路诶。
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
没有找到尸体啊。
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
现在主角怀孕了，怀孕回来房子啊。这边。
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both
爷爷的
pretty
房间
intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
爷爷很会打猎耶。这照片是怎样？啊？
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Not quite.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
都是糊的，在拍什么啊？
I'm over here, Dad.
都是糊的啊。 放大。
What?
哦，可以放大，放大就变清楚了。
It's too early, Dad.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
下面有那个可以调。
Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
Did you want to get a picture of me or what? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
在哪里？
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
在哪里？很难找哎，糊成这样子。
Nothing quite like being outside.
啊？
Hey!
That's a keeper.
我拍自己老爸尿尿。
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my
不
brother
要拍
Calvin.
老爸，拍鱼。
Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa's Fen taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail.
鹿哎，
Good eyes, Don. Before you
这
take
是
a
一
shot,
开始那只鹿吗？ 要找路吗？
Dad, I...
拍照。
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
咔嚓！
Great shot, Don!
怎么了？为什么在哭？
I'm proud of you, Don. Always
他
remember
杀了
that,
鹿在
okay?
哭哦。
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's...
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
哦，他老爸就这样死的啊、爷爷就这样死的。
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
没死吧？死了吗？照片看起来怎么比较老？爷爷是被鹿害死的。这一间是怎样啊？
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
宝宝哎。
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
怎么这么多的啊？3个人啊！攀岩。
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
等一下再去。
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
这都是他妈的兄弟啊！
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
洗澡澡。
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
那些英文字干嘛？这是什么啊？控制青蛙。
Over, Gregory. It's time to. Hold on, sweetie. Hello?
接电话。
Sam, I told you I don't want to speak right now.
I wonder what he
诶
saw.
更多的鸭子。
What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
这是怎样？丫丫交响乐。哦，越来越多玩具了。
Whatever it was he saw.
金鱼，大金鱼。呵呵。丫丫交响乐，把这些装下来。有成就哎。 然后呢？不会什么？不是什么啊？金鱼在说什么？哦，要靠着金鱼去把那个弄下来。 泡泡。
That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called.
快乐的洗澡时光。怎么了？
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
老妈又去接电话了。嘴又被打开了。 哎，太多水了吧？哎，
About Gregory. About everything.
就是变青蛙了。
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. I want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
所以他是淹死的，因为老妈去接电话，粗心大意。这段好好玩哦，但是可怜。
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. Made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I remember.
不要继母。然后呢？风筝，风筝不能下去，往上。没东西啦，不要继母，把继母弄掉。哦，转过来啊！
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
不要！风越来越大。
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
惊慌失措的鹅出现又快速离开。那天所有人做的就是钻到帐篷里。
Down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid.
大雨倾盆而下，但似乎没有人害怕大自然会摧毁我们父亲建造的粗糙帐篷。哇！
Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said
全毁了。
Make the music louder.
让音乐大声一点，还不去避难，是在耍北气啊！ 希望。呜！吹烂。
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
所以他是被砸死的咯，还是被吹走？
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
应该是被砸死的。
I She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
老妈的房间。上面就这样吗？不可能吧！
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
宗教，衣架。
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
这些是什么？
And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
来到顶楼了吗？
But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Oh. 绳子，太酷了吧！魔笔小画家。
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
"这怎么翻？哈啾！他进去门里面了。
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
这个游戏好像不会有一些什么隐藏的东西啊。
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
这是大妈吗？这房间好炫哦！为什么自己走出来？只是转个视角，他就自己走出来了。
And I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
要干嘛？
He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself.
切鱼头。
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior.
罐头工厂工作，他的思绪开始怎样？
Wander.
开始肆意游荡。
I asked him to describe it.
让他描述出来。
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about.
探索着前进。
Then something moved. Bats.
蝙蝠。
And toads.
这是什么？龙吗？ 不知名的东西啊。
He knew it was all in his head.
鱼耶！哦。
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
这是代表在工作的时候想着这些事情吗？心不在焉。
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical,
模范员工
focused. Like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
哦，
On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
建造了城市。
Then he made musicians.
变国王了。
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
这个是雨耶，菊这个是怎样？
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
他可以在想象中做任何想做的事情。
He held an election for mayor.
市场选举，
And he won.
胜出了。
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
市民们请他留下，但是他思绪已经不在那里，变成了一场游戏。
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
征服了一座，又前往下一座。
New Louisville.
我又征服了啊、这么猛啊！
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
他忘记了从罐头工厂回家，
Part of Louis kept sailing on.
他仍然在游走。他已经做工作做到失智了。
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
这是什么啊？漂亮王子，俊俏王后，
handsome queen.
我的发。
The queen was on her own quest for
王后在追寻邪恶的毒蛇。
sinister serpents.
哇哦！
He followed the sound of her
他跟随着一个声音，那是他的父亲。
silver harp.
哦，没踩到。哇，不能回去踩哦。
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
金色的宫殿哦。
Even then, his logic remained sound.
已经看不到工厂嘞。
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
怎么那么多雨？
But he was so proud of having created it.
创造了他感到自豪。 开门。
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
在幻想中已经变成比国王伟大的人。
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon.
在罐头工厂切三文鱼的他，并不是真正的他。踏上金色宫殿的他，才是真的他。
Imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
这门这么大，结果只能走小门。要下班了。
He began to forget the world we know.
这是他的柜子哎。 三文鱼工厂。
It pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
啊？开始带着王室的气派藐视所有人。 走上宫殿。
I thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
奇境王国的国王。哇哦！
With his companions.
他已经幻想跟现实分不清楚了。
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting.
替他出谋策划的智者三色猫。他的王后正手捧皇冠等着他。接下来唯一要做的事情就是，这不是断头台吗？要被砍头了。
I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
所以他被三文鱼工厂的机器把头砍掉了。天哪！
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
这样全部都有了。
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
是大麻嗑太多。
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
等到我们离开前一天才告诉伊迪。
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. mom ended up leaving everything behind.
最后把所有东西都留下了。
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
发生了什么事情？
Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
最后那一晚的故事啊。伊迪的故事。来看看最后的故事吧。
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
奶不走啊。
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
书房欸。
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
家族诅咒吗？不会因为离开房子就结束。
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
他们在吵架欸。
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
让养老院来接奶奶啊。
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
要回老房子啊。
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
怎么办？雾蒙蒙。
For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things.
路欸。
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
这是什么？
When I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back
都
to
是
me.
家具啊。
Or maybe I came back to them.
回来了。
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in
Oh
here?
my god.
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
被妈妈发现了，
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
然后就被带走了。
The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last
妈妈也
Finch left
挂了。
alive.
芬奇家族最后一个活着的人。
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things.
他
But
刚
as
刚
it
说什
is,
么？
I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you,
这本日记本来是写给你的，
but now I hope you'll never see it.
但现在我希望你永远不会看到它。
I just want to meet you
我只想见到你，
and tell you all these stories myself.
亲口告诉你所有的这些故事。
But I guess if you're reading this now,
如果你现在正在读这本日记的话，
things didn't work out that way.
愿望落空了。
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
哦，我们是他的儿子啊，妈妈也挂了。 所以我们是从这本日记中去知道全部家人的故事，还有自己妈妈的故事。 这些照片是谁呀？工作人员的孩子吗？这些人到底是谁？那个恐怖漫画那边那一段还蛮酷的。他们团队的照片。重玩故事选项已可使用啊。不能直接玩他们的片段。哦，可以啊。为什么他？怎么有些人身上会出现这个啊？出现那个是什么意思？我什么？ 这两个会出现啊？什么意思？有东西没探索到吗？
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
最后一晚，啊？这两个是一样的，是吗？ 所以他们会一起被标起来。哎，又破了一款，结果全家都死光光了，剩一个小儿子。可怜的家族。